Hello and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. On today's show, we have a family who serves food and smiles at their Chatham restaurant, Sorriso Kitchen. Then, we will walk down the yellow brick road to hear about Robin DiLauri and Rob Fusari's show, Chasing Tornadoes, premiering in Whippany this weekend. But first, we highlight a Trinitas Regional Medical Center RWJBarnabas Health marquee event, the Peace of Mind campaign. Held at the Park Savoy Estate in Florham Park, the evening focused on fundraising for behavioral health and psychiatry at their Elizabeth campus.
So tonight we're here for Peace of Mind. This is an annual event that we have to raise money to support behavioral health programming at Trinitas.
This is a wonderful event to celebrate the treatment and care of a number of very special people in the community. This is a celebration of the artwork that they produce and also of the mission that Trinitas has to really serve these individuals across so many different levels of care.
You would think that, especially nowadays, we're becoming much more aware and understanding of mental health issues and crises, that there would be more opportunities, more access. And the frightening thing is there isn't. And so anything that we can do with Trinitas and to help out, to expand their reach so that more people out there can say, all right, there's someplace I can go and somebody who can help me, the better off we'll all be.
It's so important to have the patients know that they're not out there alone. They're struggling, and it's not a hidden medical issue. Behavioral health issues are out there. There are so many individuals who suffer from this. So tonight we're lighting a candle, and that candle represents all those patients who we've lost or who are still struggling silently.
We've seen the roughest 4 or 5 years probably in my career. We're coming off a 100-year pandemic. We're coming off a period of social reckoning around racial injustice and all of the issues with that. There's been a time of political divide in this country that's still sorting itself out. And now we're seeing global international conflict. Mental health is sensitive to and I think impacted by all of these issues. And I believe that more people are identifying feelings of anxiety and depression perhaps than any other time in my life. And that's certainly true here in New Jersey.
Why is there such a stigma around the mental health discussion?
It is shocking that there's still such a stigma that we're dealing with. When we think about medical conditions, we've done so much to, open up conversations with people about how to take care of themselves and look for risk factors and prevention. And we need to do the same with mental health. People are still really uncomfortable and afraid to open up discussions about depression and anxiety, and especially around suicide.
Peace of mind is important because mental health is important. And to me, having a balance in your life is peaceful, right? Is peace of mind. Talking to Solomon, talking to my friend Grayson, they're young men who are actually being transparent and talking, and that's part of the problem for today's youth.
We're here with New York Jets defensive lineman Solomon Thomas at the Peace of Mind event at the Park Savoy in Florham Park, New Jersey. Solomon, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's an honor to be here tonight. I'm super excited. It's been surrounded by amazing, beautiful people, so it's going to be a great night.
We're talking about hard topics here tonight. What will you be discussing?
I'm going to talk about kind of my story of hope of, dealing with the stigma of mental health, losing my sister to suicide, but then going through my own depression, my own journey. And I'm going to talk about how I overcame that and what I've learned and what my family and I are doing right now to end the stigma of mental health and to make the world a better place. We have a foundation called The Defensive Line, where our mission is to end the epidemic of youth suicide, especially for young people of color, by transforming the way we communicate and connect with mental health. So we run suicide prevention programs where we go into schools, businesses, collegiate sports programs, and we teach any mentor of youth, coworker, and just to create a safe mental health environment. We run programs where we teach them how to look for the warning signs, how to create an environment where you can have the language to talk about mental health. You're able to have an action plan for crisis situation happens, but also we make a safe mental health environment where everyone can be themselves, everyone can be human, and we've been doing it for 2.5 years now, and we're just going to keep growing and saving as many lives as we can.
Splashes of Hope is a nonprofit organization paints murals with volunteer artists all over the country.
This mural is for the residential behavioral health unit, and they came up with the theme that they would like their mural to be. So they came up with a superhero theme, and we collaborated with them on what superheroes they should be, what could make the world better. So we have superheroes of friendship, of care, sharing, kindness, and patience.
A photo from a store is not the same as something that's passionately done like artwork, you know? So when we involve all the volunteers that we meet, it's a wonderful process. So.
It's so important to make the behavioral health issues very well known to the public, to the community, to their families. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And it's so important that we be there to support them.
We're really proud to have an amazing team of people at Trinitas, many of whom have worked at Trinitas for years and are so committed to the mission at Trinitas, which is really making sure that we make services accessible to all communities and all individuals, regardless of their ability to pay.
They have been as committed as they can to this community. They are an integral part of it. They search out actively individuals who live in this community to work and serve on it. They recruit people to be part of that mission. And they've been really, really talented, Trinitas has, at finding communities in need.
We really appreciate all of the support that we get from our foundation, from the community, from donors, our partners with the state, and other community-based organizations. It helps us to continue to bring innovative and creative programming to the communities that we serve.
Robin DiLauri and Rob Fusari, both New Jersey-based producers, songwriters, and performers, returned to the stage to put on the musical journey Chasing Tornadoes. Robin and Rob, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for having us.
I'm so happy to be joined by the both of you. I've known you both for years, and I've just been such admirers of your respective careers. Rob, we'll start with you. I mean, you're a Grammy-winning producer. Tell us about the trajectory of your career and how it got you to this moment.
I started as a songwriter-producer in the 90s, and I had my first song recorded by a group called Destiny's Child, which was Beyonce. It was her group with 3 other girls, and the song I did was No, 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 which did fairly well for them. And I stayed, with the girls for many years and did multiple albums, and then kind of summed it up with the Gaga's first record, which I did a number of songs on and executive produced as well.
How does a boy from New Jersey get the opportunity to work with legends like Beyonce and Lady Gaga?
It's funny you ask that, because I talk about this in the show, and I call it the imposter syndrome, right? That a lot of artists have. And it still amazes me to this day sometimes when I think about it. I'm like, how did this happen? And I'm like, there's no way that I say in the show, I felt like somebody was going to show up at my doorstep any minute and be like, what are you doing? Like, you're such a fake. You're faking this whole thing. You're not real. So it's been a dream come true. So to answer your question, I don't even know some days myself how it happened, and it just kind of it was almost like watching someone else's life, someone else's career take hold. So, I just kind of just kept writing and things just kind of fell into place, in a certain way that I can't even explain.
Robin, I want to ask you the same question. How did you get started in music, and what led you to today?
This whole process has been so cool because Rob and I have known each other for over 35 years. And so where we are today, it's so important to talk about how we actually met, because how we met was around the same time my musical journey began. So I was 13 years old, and this is also in the show, and he was playing the piano for my voice teacher. And it was in Ridgewood, New Jersey, remember? 35 years ago, and I was just starting my musical career. And he would play this beautiful music, I would sing, and a musical friendship started, and the rest is history. And it kind of culminated into us returning back and comparing our stories, our musical stories, our professional lives, realizing that we took 2 very different paths, but kind of ended up almost in the exact same place. Well, of course, I didn't I didn't get a Grammy, but
Hey, that could be in your future. Don't sell yourself short.
See, I'm
Exactly
telling
right.
you,
You never know. It's
I've
not
got
too late.
you know what? We have a lot of music left in us, and I pulled him out of retirement, and I said pretty much exactly that. I said we have a story to tell, we have a history, and we need to celebrate it, and that's I think that's part of the essence of the show.
I mean, but Robin is right. I was done, with the music business and for almost 10 years now. And, when she reached out, I said, you know what, I got it. This I have to do. So the journey continues.
Well, it's music on your terms now. And the both of you
Exactly.
are like music entrepreneurs in the sense. So this makes sense. Let's talk about the show. What's the correlation between weaving together both of your lives with The Wizard of Oz?
You know what? The Wizard of Oz has been such a huge part of our lives. It's that when you think about it being the first movie that you're introduced to as a child, and when we started talking about just the layers, Robin had said something to me early on. She said, she was talking to someone about who her Tin Man was, who is her scarecrow in life, and then it got me thinking, like, whoa, wait, we all have these people. We don't even realize that we've been on this journey, on this yellow brick road, for all our lives, all of us. And we have these certain people in our life that are with us on the journey, like the Scarecrow is with Dorothy the whole time. And you don't realize that they're there. And you turn around one day like, oh my God, you've been here the whole time. So it just all these things started to come into play and into focus with the parallel of the Wizard of Oz that I said, this now you said that, this now it makes sense. Now our show needs to kind of correlate and run parallel to the Wizard of Oz, because we both needed to find home in a sense. I felt like I had never found myself after I stopped producing, kind of left it hanging, if you will. I never was complete. I never was, at peace. So I needed to get home in a sense. And doing this show and writing and working on the show made it feel like I could find a way back to me, a way back to love and to safety and to serenity.
It was like existential moments where we couldn't believe how it was coming together. And we had some really emotional moments writing it and creating it, and just being together again, doing it was just surreal. But what is even more exciting for us is that we're in previews now, and everyone that is coming to see it is leaving thinking, who's my Tin Man?
Mm-hmm.
Who's my Scarecrow? Where's my Oz? What was Oz? Am I home? And so it's really, I know that Rob and I both have so many things in common, but one of the things is when he writes, when he sings, when I sing, we want to make a difference, right? There's a lot of talented people in the world, but to be able to touch people while we're making the music, that's everything to us. So just like you said before, Lisa, about making this music on our own terms, that's exactly what it's doing. And then it's also kind of giving back to us because of the message. Yeah. And so all these caveats are coming out and we're not even realizing it. That's how loaded it is. It's incredible.
Is all the music original, or are you doing covers?
It's some of the music is original. There's 5 or 6 new songs that appear in the show. But like Moulin Rouge, if you know that show, there are a lot of snippets of other songs that help to tell the story. So they're not just random songs. They're songs that actually tell the story with us in conjunction with the dialogue. So they go hand in hand with the storyline to make it all kind of almost not in an operatic form, but in such a way that lyrically they are telling the story as well, the covers.
And are you two performing together, or you trade off?
We do both. We do some duets, and there's some, she does a couple songs solo, and I play and perform, and then, I'll do some songs solo, and then she'll play some piano, and we mix it up.
I got to take Liana to come and see this.
Oh, you have to. I mean, this is for everyone. Trust me. Yeah. It's what we one of the previews we just did. We had literally a teenager. He was in tears. Yeah. Thinking about, he had a breakup with his girlfriend, and it was like, this is for everyone.
And another young adult who was there, we were talking to her after, she goes, I need to reassess my life.
The chemistry is palpable. There's a familiarity between the both of you, and I could only imagine how it's going to translate on screen. Tell us about your upcoming show, the debut show happening in Whippany.
It's really a show that is just as much for the people, like for you to kind of look at things in a positive way in your life and be inspired. You know, another person had said to us during one of the shows that we had, the preview that we done, I'm going to go home and start writing my book. You know, so
I liked that.
right,
Yeah,
right. So
yeah.
everyone's taking away something that is for them. You know, of course we're enjoying performing for you, but and this wasn't on purpose, to be on to tell you the truth. It's just, it's happening. Like people are taking their own, you know, their own direction with the show and taking different things that we never expected from it. So it's that kind of an event. You know, and you know, there'll be, you know, there's an open bar, and so there's a lot of stuff going on that it's going to be a pretty fun night.
I am so excited. I cannot wait to see it. Where can people watching follow your journey?
First of all, we put everything on my website for now while we're building ours, our whole, you know, domain, if you will. So it's robfusari.com. Right now you can get dates and what's coming up and some of the information that you know, that might be needed to follow us. But then from there we'll launch our own domain, which is getting ready as we speak.
Amazing. Robin, thank you so much for coming on. Best
Thank
of luck.
you.
And if anybody can get this on Broadway, it's you two.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
Happy holidays, and we look forward to
too.
hearing from you
You
a lot more
too.
in the future. Karen and Jimmy Bellis, the owners of Sorriso Kitchen in Chatham, join us now to talk about their inclusive restaurant and how their son LJ inspired them to create the farm-to-table experience. Karen and Jimmy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Well, your restaurant is one of my family's favorite Saturday morning spots, so I'm really happy to have you on here because I want the whole state to know about you. But let's start with the inspiration for Sorriso Kitchen, your beloved son, LJ.
Currently 22 years old. He's graduating from school, and he was our inspiration for the restaurant in many, many ways. LJ loves to make people smile. And the name of the restaurant is Sorriso Kitchen, which in Italian, Sorriso means to smile. I was in the restaurant business many years ago, and we always talked as a family that we would get into the restaurant business to give LJ a place to work after he graduated. So we discussed it many times at the kitchen table. When would we do this? And our other son, Nico, came and just said, you know, what are you waiting for? So there was a local luncheonette here in Chatham that was owned by a couple that were here 25 years or so, and they were retiring. And we had a conversation with them. And by the end of our conversation and a cup of coffee, we were in the restaurant business.
What was that transition, though, for you as a family to jump into the restaurant business as epically big as you did?
We did not think that we would be as popular and as busy as we've become. It was evident from the first day that we opened that we did the right thing because we do live in town here, and we kind of knew the type of place that the town could use. We thought, okay, well, we're opening a restaurant, and not every family can do that. You know, we're doing what we know. But we said, what about the families who have young students who are graduating and they don't have any job skills? So we thought one day of the week that we were closed, we would open up the restaurant dining room and create a curriculum so that it could serve as a classroom for students like our son, LJ. And we could give them some skills, some real life job training, and maybe they'd want to work in a restaurant. And if nothing else, it applies good social skills, eye contact, making, speaking with manners, being well presented. And that could go in any business if you think about it, if they don't work necessarily as in the service industry. That applies to so many other places.
You know, it was a wonderful way to use the facility that would have been empty because we were closed on Monday to the betterment for this whole population. So we're just thrilled about what we've created.
Karen and Jimmy, about a year ago, you started the Reasons to Smile Foundation. What is its mission?
We've done this for just about 5 years. Other than COVID, we had to close. We've had dozens and dozens of students graduate. We're working with also a school in Somerset called the Center School. And we have a student from the special ed department at Madison High School. And we are trying to grow the program and those like it into other businesses. And because of that, we've created a charity foundation. It's called the Reasons to Smile Foundation. And it's kind of a play off Sorriso, meaning smile in Italian. And because how it all came to pass was the students would do the 8-week session, and then their graduating class, so to speak, or their last day, they'd get a certificate, and they were allowed to invite family, friends, and some staff from their school to actually show off what they've learned. They'd serve lunch. Then they were off and running. You know, we heard of some students that did get jobs in other restaurants and country clubs, which we were thrilled to hear. But what happened was customers would come in and they go, gee, I love your mission. I love what you're doing. And put $100 in our palm. And we go, okay, well, we don't know what to do with this. So donate it to the schools right now. And then we said, you know what? This is something that is kind of getting bigger than who we are. We should let it grow into something more. And we created the foundation, and we are trying to expand into the community an awareness to other businesses to create programs similar to ours. It doesn't have to be an 8-week program. It just has to give knowledge of how your business is run and some skills that you can apply to a young person who's about to work, because these young people work so hard for you and they're so thrilled. And that warms our heart. Just like the restaurant, it's like the foundation is kind of taken on its own life.
It's definitely its own life.
Yeah.
What attracted my family when we first discovered Sorriso Kitchen, never mind the menu, you have such eclectic, amazing selections, but you source a lot of your ingredients from local farms. Why was that important for you to incorporate the local farm community into what you're serving?
We wanted to make sure that everything would be as fresh as it could be. And the best way to do that is to utilize the local farming community for a couple of reasons. Number one, it really supports that arena, that world, which is so often neglected.
It's a small business supporting a small business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, it's the best possible quality that you could get and serve on the plate. And there's some obstacles in doing that. For instance, we literally order 20, 30, 40, I don't even know how many dozen eggs a week, literally thousands upon thousands of eggs a week. And there aren't necessarily a lot of farms that could support that demand. And if you work with just one farm, sometimes they don't have enough of the ingredients that you need. So there's a company called Harvest Drop, which is amazing. We work with this one company.
It's a purveyor.
And he's a purveyor. And what he does is he's got a network of like 40 or 50 farms. And we'll tell them what we need. And then he sources it from the individual farms that have enough product that we need. And then they deliver it to us. So it is an amazing support of a smaller community, but it is enabling us to get the amount of product that we need from the local farms. And there's just no way around it. When you use the best possible quality coming in the back door on your plate, you're ensured the best quality.
Well, this is why your restaurant is rocking. Where can people find out more about Sorriso Kitchen and everything you have going on within the community?
Well, they can go to our website. It's www.sorrisokitchen.com. And at the homepage footer, there is an opportunity to sign up for an email newsletter. And I send out a newsletter monthly with all the events we have going on. Social media, we're on Facebook and Instagram. There's some press footage on our website too. Lifetime did a feature on us, which is absolutely wonderful. We so appreciate you putting the word out for us as well. And we have a Reasons to Smile Foundation website as well. It's www.reasonstosmilefoundation.org. And that kind of takes you through the entire program that we do, our curriculum, and any events we have going on there as well.
Karen and Jimmy, you are the epitome of what a power couple is. And, you're the reason why I love doing this show, because I walked in, Karen, I met you the first time I walked in, and I instantly fell in love with the vibe and the decor that you so beautifully put together. And I remember asking you, Do you have a community hook in what you're doing here? Because I would love to feature you on the show, but it can't just be like pure promotion. And you're like, do we? And boy, do you have a community angle to what you do. And that's what Your New Jersey is all about. Finding people like you and giving you a spotlight you so deserve because you just do wonderful work for the people around the Garden State, and you add to why it's such an amazing place to live. So I applaud the both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We're so proud of what we do and the restaurant, but we are so much more proud of what we do with the community of disabled youth. I mean, that's really what motivates us. And thank you so much for your kind words.
Appreciate that. All righty.
Absolutely. Happy holidays to you both.
Happy holidays to you
Thank
as
you.
well. We'll see you at the restaurant.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.